Good morning, class 6. We have started Urban Livelihoods, chapter 9 of your social science, that is your civics book, in the previous class. We have discussed about what we can see in the illustration, that is in the picture. And we have talked about that there is a vendor who is selling something, the bus is there, and somebody is running after the bus to catch it. It is very crowded, so we can make out it's a urban area, that means something somewhere from the city. Then there is a place where like buildings are there, and children are going to the school and lot of other things, right? Then we can see one more illustration just like on the next page, and it says that there is a maybe it is of early morning, that a sweeper is sweeping the floor. Then you can see a girl who is taking something, like maybe purchasing some vegetables or food, flowers or something from a female vendor. Then you can see that a female vendor is moving in the colony to sell off something. A barber is shaving like a person who is there for like maybe he's a first or second customer. So all that we can see it and see that in the picture that we have discussed. We have talked about Bachu Manjhi, a cycle rickshaw puller, how he came to the city and how he was living. His family was living in the village, and he was working very hard to earn the like bread and butter for himself. A lot of money he was saving to send it to the family. He said that his wife is working in the village, although that work is not throughout the year, right? So this much we have discussed in the previous class. Let's begin. They work on their own, they are not employed by anyone, and therefore have to organize their own work. They have to plan how much to purchase, as well as where and how to set up their shops. Their shops are usually temporary structure. So they are talking about if you see the vendors who organize their shop on the roadside areas, they are temporary shops. So yeah, they can easily move their items from one place to another, right? And sometimes just boards or paper spread over discarded boxes, or maybe a canvas sheet hung up on few poles. They may also use their own cards, or simply a plastic sheet spread on the pavement. They can be asked to dismantle their shop at any time by the police. They have no security. There are certain parts of the city where these hawkers are not allowed to enter. Vendors sell things that are often prepared at home by their families. Like we have talked about them also in the previous class, that these people who are selling these some Chinese food items like momos and chow mein and all. So these vendors, they prepare these food items at home and come and sell it off by the late evening, and so or their family members are involved in it, and they make those things together. Let's continue. There are almost 1 crore street vendors in the country working in urban areas. Street vending was till recently looked upon only as an obstruction to traffic and to people walking. However, with the effort of many organizations, it is now recognized as a general benefit and as a right of people to earn their livelihood. The government is thinking about modifying the law that banned street vendors, so that they have a place to work and that there is also a free flow of traffic and people. Hawking zones have been suggested by towns and cities. It has also been suggested that mobile vendors should be allowed to move around freely. Hawkers need to be part of committees that are set up to take these and other decisions relating to them. So like in the maybe in past few years, you must have noticed that near what do you call Teripulia, you must have seen that the vegetable vendors used to sell the vegetables on the pavement, and gradually what happened that there one lane, that was the fourth one, they had completely occupied it. So that was not used by the traffic because that was occupied by these vendors who were selling the vegetables there. So obviously The purpose of these 4 lanes, or like is that for the smooth movement of the traffic. Otherwise what happens, lot of time is wasted and a person gets stuck in the traffic. But recently some NGOs and some organizations have talked about their human rights, and they also have the right to earn their bread and bread, livelihood for their family. So they have taken steps and they have got permission to sell these items, and because they do not have that much money that they can take a shop on rent or something. So now they have got permission, and now there are people who are working for their betterment, and with that they will be, mobile vendors have got the permission to roam about in the localities and sell off their food items or sell off their things. In the market, when we reached the market, the shops were just beginning to open, but the place was already crowded because of the festival season. There were rows and rows of shops selling sweets, toys, clothes, footwear, utensils, electronic goods, etc. There was a dentist clinic also at one end. My cousin had an appointment with a dentist. We went there first so that we would not miss our turn. We had to wait for a while in a room before she was called inside. Sorry. The dentist examined her and asked her to come back the following day to get a cavity in her tooth filled. My cousin was scared because she thought the process would be painful and was upset that she had allowed her teeth to go bad. That means to decay. So the doctor had asked, that means the dentist had asked her to come the next day because the cavity has to be removed. From the dental clinic, she took me to a new garment showroom because I wanted to buy some ready-made clothes. The showroom had 3 floors. Each floor had different types of clothes. We went to the third floor where clothes for girls were kept. Harpreet and Vandana, business persons. My father and uncle worked in a small shop. During festival times and on Sundays, my mother and I helped them in the shop. I started working there only after I completed my college. So this is the introduction of Harpreet, that father and uncle have been working in a shop, and during the festival times or on Sundays, mother has also helped them in the shop, and Harpreet was allowed only after completing the college. We opened this showroom some years ago. I am a dress designer. Our business has changed. These days people prefer to buy ready-made clothes rather than have them stitched. The trend these days is for ready-made garments. You also need an attractive display for them. So this is the introduction of Vandana. She is telling that they have opened a showroom, and she is trying to tell us that in present context, people prefer to purchase ready-made clothes and instead of getting them stitched. So because they can get trendy ready-made clothes. For our showroom, we buy things from different places. We buy most of the material from Mumbai, Ahmedabad, Ludhiana and Tripura. Tripura also, Tripura. Some materials also come from Noida and Gurgaon, towns near Delhi. We get some dress items from foreign countries too. There are several things we need to do to run this showroom properly. We advertise in various newspapers, cinema theatres, television and radio channels. Currently, this building is rented, but soon we plan to buy it. Ever since this market has become the main market for people living in the surrounding apartments, our business has grown. We have been able to buy a car and book a flat in an apartment complex nearby. So, she is telling that they purchase the ready-made material from Ahmedabad, Mumbai, Ludhiana, and few things from Gurgaon and Noida also. And for advertising, they give the advertisement in the newspapers, in the cinema theatres, in the television and radio channels also. And she's telling that since the time the building is like presently they have taken this building on rent, but then they are in the near future they are planning to purchase it because people have become familiar with the shop and they have good customers nearby, so they are planning to purchase that building in the near future. And they since the this market has become the because that market like we have the Hazratganj or maybe different markets, so same ways since that market has become the main market for the people living in the nearby areas, that is the apartment which was nearby, their business have grown up, and because of that business they have been able to purchase a car and a flat. Why did Harpreet and Vandana start a showroom? What do they have to do to run the showroom? Talk to a shop owner in a market and find out how he plans his work. Have there been any changes in his business in the past 20 years? What are the differences between those who sell on the street and those in the market? So, few things we can discuss right away, like for example, as they have already told us that initially people prefer to get the cloth, the dress material and got it stitched. But in present context, maybe their timing problem is also there. So people nowadays they purchase or prefer to get ready-made items. So the time is saved and they can save the money on stitching as well. Then what else you can say? What are the difference between then people who sell on the street? They will not have. They will just get the money for the items which they are selling. But people those who are selling in the market or in the shop, they have to get money for the maintenance of the shop, for the they have to pay the electricity bill. If the shop is rented, they have to give the rent. So all that also has to be adjusted in the material which they are selling. License to do business by the municipal corporation. Like Harpreet and Vandana, there are many people who own shops in various markets of the city. These shops may be small or large and they sell different things. Most business persons manage their own shops or businesses. They are not employed by anyone, but they do employ a number of other workers as supervisors and helpers. These are permanent shops that are given a license to do business by the municipal corporation. The municipal corporation also decides on which day of the week the market has to remain closed. For example, the shop in the above market are closed on Wednesdays. This market also has small offices and shops that provide services such as banks, courier services and others. So if somebody is opening a shop, that doesn't mean that will be in his or her discretion that the shop has to be closed on which day. They have to work according to the municipal norms of the municipal corporation. In the factory workshop area, I wanted to have a zari work done on one of my dresses which I needed for a special occasion. My cousin said that she knew Nirmala, who works in a garment factory. Nirmala's neighbors do zari work and embroidery. So we caught a bus and headed towards the factory area. The bus was really crowded. At every shop, more and more people got on and hardly anyone seemed to get off. People were pushing others to make more space for themselves. My cousin guided me to a corner so that we wouldn't get squashed. I wonder how people travel like this every day. As the bus entered the factory area, people started getting off. We also got off soon at a crossing. What a relief that was. So, they are telling us about a view about of a bus, crowded bus in fact, that if you have seen it in the if you have got a chance to get into the city bus, you must have seen that how crowded it is and how people they push each other to make space for themselves. And so they are telling that once the because it was a timing for the factory workers, so when the bus entered the factory area, they started getting off. They also got down and they found that it was such a relief to get down from the bus because it was so crowded. So that is all for today, children. Let's end it here. We'll continue the chapter in the next class. Please read the chapter. Take care of yourselves. Be safe at home. Thank you.